Welcome back to my channel. For years I've been struggling with weight issues. Training for Ironman, I wouldn't even lose, well, I would lose maybe 5 pounds riding, 6 days a week, riding or swimming or running 6 days a week, and I would never lose more than 5 pounds. It was really frustrating. And then I found fasting. I started fasting and I pushed it a little too far. For a couple of years there, I was actually training a whole day without eating anything, and I think it caused my body to rely solely on fat during endurance training, which became a problem. And I think in the last year that has come to a head. And when I'm doing races, I actually run out of carbohydrates. So now I've taken a different approach based off of a friend of mine suggesting that I try this. So now I actually eat properly. I still do some fasting some mornings until 10 o'clock or lunchtime. But if I'm doing a hard training session in the morning, anything more than an hour, then I'll for sure eat breakfast. Based mainly, I try to do lots of protein and carbohydrates. And then I'll do my training session. I'll make sure I have a protein shake or some good protein after I ride. We'll see how this goes. I'm keeping track of all the calories that I eat, watching my macros. So every day I have an app on my phone, and I put in what I eat. I can do this by the barcode on whether it's meat or oatmeal or whatever. Just put the barcode and it'll pull up the amount that I've eaten. I try to weigh most things and keep it in this online app that I have that journals everything every day. And we'll see how this goes. So far I've started to lose weight since November of last year when I stopped training. That was November of 2024. When I stopped training, I went back to work for a month, and I literally did nothing for 5 weeks. I did some hiking on the weekends, but that was it. During the week, I would go to work, come home, have dinner, go right to sleep. So I put on probably 15 pounds, and I started training again, and this weight would just not budge. Now with keeping proper track of my calories and trying to get in the proper amount of protein each day, which is roughly 1.5 to 2 grams per kilogram of body weight for me. And so far, I've lost a few pounds, and I'm see how this goes. Just keep tracking everything, see how it goes. I have learned with fasting that I have to be really careful because the amount of training I do when training for races, I'm not getting enough calories to meet the needs of training, and that causes me to bonk very quickly after more than a couple hours of riding or running. It was happening in the summer, but I really didn't figure out what was going on. I just thought I was getting tired in my training sessions and didn't realize that it was actually a lack of calories, a lack of carbohydrates to be exact, during these training sessions. And so now I've taken on a different approach. I actually keep track of my carbohydrates during training sessions, and we'll see how that goes this year. Right now I haven't been doing any running, just mainly walking. I have been cycling. Shortly I'm going to try and get back into running again and see how that goes. See if I can lose some more weight. So one of the things I noticed when I was fasting a lot, and then I would do a training ride, a long training ride, I would actually get to the point of bonking and couldn't figure out why, because I was taking in calories. Not enough calories, but I was taking in calories and couldn't figure out why. And then I would stop for like maybe 10 to 15 minutes, sit down, have a rest, and then all of a sudden the carbohydrates would kick in and I'd be able to go again for another hour or so. And in 2024, I did Alpe d'Huez triathlon and didn't make it through the bike because I ran completely out of energy, because I wasn't getting enough carbohydrates. I thought I was. I had, I believe I had 2 scoops of F2C in each bottle, which is only 50 grams of carbohydrates, where I need at least 80 to 100 per hour. So I was having 1 bottle an hour, which was only 50 grams of carbohydrates. And for long rides like that, especially in races, I need at least 80 to 100 grams per hour. So I wasn't getting near enough. And then I'd just get to the point where it was too late. It didn't matter how much I drank. Well, first of all, once I started to bonk, my body would reject carbohydrates. I would get that sick feeling every time I tried to drink something. So unless I stopped for, 15 to 30 minutes, then my body would regenerate, or not regenerate, but then it would start to take in the carbohydrates. By that time, I'm completely out of the mix for finishing the race in the cutoff time. So, this year is going to be a completely different structure in the amount of carbohydrates I take in, and we'll see how my training improves. So this year, I'm eating a lot more protein during the day. Like I said, I'm eating 1.5 to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, which for me works out to about 180 to 200 grams of protein per day. And in competition, I'm going to be taking in a lot more carbohydrates. I have to get some energy drinks ordered. Once I do that, then I'm going to start using these carbohydrates in training sessions. Even in hour and a half training sessions, I'm going to be drinking these carbohydrates so that my body gets used to the consumption of so much carbohydrates while I'm training. And we'll see where that goes.